Hello again and welcome to the Meta Unshackled podcast. We're coming to you live from MJ BizCon in Las Vegas. I'm Mitch Chargo. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Hinshaw and Culbertson in Minneapolis, and I focus my practice on cannabis. I'm also chair of the law firm's national cannabis practice. And today our topic is how white labeling will future-proof your manufacturing operation. And we have industry experts, Kirk Schultz, who is the Vice President of Operations with Grow Science. And we have Angel Ferer, who is the Chief Technology Officer and Chief Marketing Officer for Hara Brands and Hara Supply. And just real briefly, Kirk has over 10 years experience in licensed cannabis operations. He specializes in cultivation, lean manufacturing, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and strategic planning. He has a proven track record for launching successful brands in multiple states and an expertise in building partnerships through operational excellence. And Angel is an innovator in e-commerce and cannabis manufacturing. As CTO and CMO of Hara Brands and Supply, oversees the production of more than 100 million cannabis cones monthly and drives global brand building initiatives. He's also known for his track record at successfully scaling businesses. Welcome, gentlemen. And I want to launch right in. Our goal today is to provide the audience with a high-level understanding of white labeling and how white labeling can enhance their manufacturing operations. So let's jump in. I'd like to hear from each of you real briefly what or how you define white labeling and the process of white labeling.
Yeah, I think the way I look at kind of white labeling is you're taking someone's silhouette or a silhouette that's already been produced and exists in the market, and you're just plopping a logo on it, right? You're plopping your branding, whether it's someone that's has their own grow or someone that's manufacturing an accessory that's already out, and you're just putting your logo and trying to bring it to market and introduce your brand. Right?
Yeah, we look at it as a frictionless, ready to market, right, solution. For us, we really want to spare you the capital expense, the R&D, and the brain damage of figuring it out yourself. So if you have a product idea, or say you have a relationship that you want to, dig into a little further, come to us. We get you to market. We make it really easy for you.
Yeah. And can you tell me while you're on it, and I'll pass the mic back to you, how prevalent is white labeling in the cannabis industry today?
Oh, it's extremely prevalent. Yeah, I would wager, at least in the Arizona market, some 40% of all products produced are produced externally by co-manufacturers.
Your thoughts?
I think it's exactly the same. Like, I know a few friends that they want to get into cannabis, and what they've done is they've reached out to these grows that already have their licenses, and they're like, hey, I'll pay you for the packaging, I'll pay you for everything. And they're using their licenses just to build their brand and get their name out there because they don't have the right funds. So like, hey, drop a few $1 million on a brand new license right now.
Right. So in your perspectives, it's a great alternate to investing capital into those operations as a startup or even as an existing company. Take it to cannabis businesses that are already out there in the marketplace doing the work. Let them do it for you.
That's exactly right.
Got it. So with our understanding of what white labeling is, generally speaking, why would one manufacturer want another to white label? I'm layering this a little bit more to see where it's going. In other words, what general benefit does white labeling provide one cannabis operator as opposed to another?
Again, I think sparing yourself the trials and tribulations or the learned experiences over, many years of operating and taking it to a group that's already done it, to find someone that you can trust to deliver quality work on time in and of itself is its own sort of difficult, right? But once you've found it, it removes all of the friction of getting to market, the capital expense, the head count. And at the end of the day, your cost per unit, may be less with an experienced or an at-scale manufacturer than just trying to figure it out yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with him, but one thing that I can take from, my father's history of running a business is, he ran a restaurant, and when you take it to every other industry, it's like you can't survive just off of one stream of income. White labeling is just, this is stream number 2. It's not there to generate millions and millions of dollars for you to become profitable, but it's there to cover the bills and the basic expenses. That's how you have to treat it. It's not your end all be all, but as a brand that if I was to have a license, I wouldn't have an issue white labeling. right? It's not going to affect my brand or my product. It's allowing me to still, I have such a big yield, but I can't get it all into the market. Well, if I white label and give it to someone else, I'm not losing my yield.
Got it.
Right? So in a restaurant world, the way you look at it is you have takeout, you have sit down for people to come in and eat in a restaurant, and then you have catering. That's 3 sources of income just from offering one standalone location. So it's the same aspect. Even if, you take experience that I came from supplements do it all day. You go to GNC, everything in there is white label supplements. They're not private labeled. It's all white labeled. So it's the same thing, just in a different industry. And I think that's probably what people are really looking for.
Yeah, I'd say in the spirit of that, right? As a manufacturer and as someone who cultivates, right, we have 100,000 plus square feet in Phoenix, and we're growing the plants, right? So utilization for us is very important. If our internal brands are only occupying X percent, well, we got to do something with the rest of it.
Yep.
So turning on white labeling as a manufacturer, it's just such a clever way to move more material largely to the same fixed costs that you've already established in the building.
So what you're saying, if I'm hearing you right, and both of you are saying this, it's an opportunity for an existing manufacturer that's got more product than it has need for in its own private labels to turn on a white labeling opportunity for more of a startup enterprise, or maybe not even a startup enterprise, just
That's
another
exactly
business,
right.
another business that doesn't want to invest in the infrastructure to create its own product supply or logistics supply to push its product to market.
Right.
Right. So can both of you give an example, almost like a case study? Lawyers are big on case studies, right? We're nerdy that way. Can you give an example of how you've implemented white labeling in your businesses?
Sure.
Without, you don't have to give names. You can respect whatever you need to respect from a privacy and confidentiality standpoint. But just an example so that the audience.
The lawyer
gets, right, lawyer speak. I can't escape it. It's horrible.
Well, I think like most people, our journey at Grow Sciences in Phoenix, right, really began as, hey, we have an excess of product or a creative means of generating more revenue through the same biomass that we're producing. So, maybe we have a byproduct and we want to find a way to get it out there. So we'll go shop. We'll let people know, we'll go find house brands and we'll turn them on for them, right? It really started that way as like a creative means to generate a more diversified stream of revenue. It's not solely tied to the brand. And in a lot of ways, when you go and you find that work, it becomes a little stickier, right? So suddenly when that house brand's dependent on you to provide those products, all of a sudden you got a shoe in. And really, frankly, it's dependable revenue.
Right.
And then from there, it just scales, right? Your quality departments, your onboarding of clients. What it really does, it sets up this sort of a series of. You pick that up? Yeah. It really I feel like for us, it helped us refine ourselves as a manufacturer, right? By going and really exploring and onboarding more groups, we were able to figure out how to onboard our own products more efficiently and effectively.
Right.
Yeah, I think, the one thing we do at HAR is we're a solutions partner, right? So at the end of the day, whatever you guys are producing, whatever you guys are manufacturing on the pre-roll cone side, we have put it into our entire business to work with you, right? Yeah, it is white labeling, whether you want a blank cone or you want a cone with a glass tip or wood tip or different types of hemp wrap paper, whatever you want, that's what we do on that side of it. But the biggest thing that I would say that we've put into our business is in our merchandising side. So working with MSOs and other brands, making sure they're able to take, some of the silhouettes that we've been able to put onto the market and put their branding on it. Make sure it's merchandised in the store properly for them so they're able to actually push and achieve products, not just here's, your basic product, but here's something that's been true, tried and tested across, hundreds of thousands of people that have purchased from us directly.
Establishing that motion of rubber stamping, right? I like how you frame that with the silhouette is really powerful for us as a manufacturer.
Yep.
So describe that. Describe why.
Well, if we already have a subset of products that we're really, we're proficient at manufacturing, and again, if we have an excess of those materials, if we have that rubber stamp, we can onboard you and get you to market, call it in sub 30 days. Maybe we're sub 90 days if we're enabling packaging, we're working maybe some of the more complicated angles of the arrangement.
Yeah, that's a
great
perfect example.
So and you gave the example. Did you give an example from yours? I'd like to have you give an example, a case study.
Okay, so a good case study is, so on the merchandising side, taking our silhouettes, we recently took one of our most popular accessories, our keeper, right? So it's a 3-in-1 grinder storage, smell-proof container, water resistant, everything. And what we do is we put our logo on it, right? So we just recently did a collaboration with Weed Maps where they're taking these across the country through their little roadmap tours, and they're basically providing these kits to dispensary owners, to bud tenders, everyone else in there, really just falling in love with the product. Sometimes, shout out to Hardin that's also here, they also are a great partner as well too, where, you can see our products there and see how they branded some of the things that we do bring out to market for them too.
Great. Awesome. So I'm going to ask a couple more now specific questions to each of you. Angel, can you describe what some innovative marketing strategies are that can enhance the white labeling process? And I've got a follow-up to that about your IT background. So
I think things that could enhance the process is more of just standardization and process and workflows, honestly. When it comes to marketing, we're already dealing where we can't market anywhere, to be honest, right? It's becoming more and more difficult, right? As states start to legalize more, platforms are becoming a little bit more stringent. You can probably market on Meta, but then you'll get kicked off, right? Or you can probably market on Instagram and then get banned or get shadow banned. Yesterday, my CEO was talking about, being shadow banned and how to market on Instagram. And even that as a platform has still become difficult for us. And, I may have relationships. If I lose our IG, make a phone call, we'll get it back.
Right.
People don't have that access, right? And it takes time and relationships to really build those and being able to do something with them. I think, hopefully some of these platforms start being more okay with running advertisements and just being more restrictive on it, right? But honestly, you see a lot of these things where children are just getting on all these platforms, which is why they're being more hesitant and why they're having issues with it. Which hopefully, we'll see what happens as time goes on. But I would love for them to make it easier for me to sell people bongs all day, right? And make my life a lot easier instead of struggling we lost an account or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and the quick follow-up I have is, how can technology-driven approaches optimize white labeling operations and expand your company's geographical reach, or any company's geographical reach?
Forecasting, honestly, and to give a case study for that, we had a brand that wasn't necessarily forecasting that very well, and they ran out of cones. And what a lot of companies do right now is just-in-time inventory.
Okay.
Right? That's literally what every brand that I've come across is. They're ordering just enough to get through the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then they're losing money on shipping. They're losing money on this, right? If the biggest thing that technology can definitely help and support them right now is being able to forecast better, being able to produce better and think ahead of better, whether it's having more cone supply, whether it's having more accessories, whether it's, being able to automate some of those processes, even if it's suggesting, hey, you should have this PO ready to go.
Yeah.
Right? That's the biggest thing. In our own internal system, I have it set up where literally, okay, if we're running low on inventory, it's going to create a draft purchase order. Okay, cool. From that draft purchase order, someone in my finance team or someone in the production team is like, okay, cool. Let me raise the alarm and make something of this. So that's actually helped us to maintain our inventory levels. And from there, it's just communication and sharing the information. Making your data warehouses, make sure you have a proper data lake to share with other departments. Creating, we use Sheets. I have reports set up in Sheets for everyone, even external brands to see how much inventory there is. So tech is really useful, even you want to talk about AI and how it can help the business as well, it's there.
Right.
I have ChatGPT set up for different departments in the company. So it's useful, it's being used,
Shout out GPT.
Yeah, ChatGPT, even Claude, I'll be honest, Claude's a little bit better.
I think Angel's spot on once again. If you're planning on engaging a manufacturer to make your products, right, understanding your sell-through rate and how you're going to pull on that manufacturer and communicate to them is paramount to your success, and frankly, their success as well.
Yeah,
that's great. So, can either of you or both of you address a compliance question? Because for the nerdy lawyer whose eyes gloss over at IT speak, compliance is a cornerstone of the cannabis industry, at least in my eyes. So, what do you see as the most important compliance considerations for the parties to address in a white labeling relationship?
Do your homework ahead of time, right? And then lean on your partners, right? We're in the market. We've been in the market for nearly a decade, right? We know how to navigate the compliance, at least in our state market, right? So what I would really do is just have a frank conversation with the manufacturer ahead of time. Hey, I already have packaging made. I don't know if this warning label's up to date. What are our options?
It's a great example. Great.
Yeah, definitely work with the state's CCB board. Whatever cannabis board is in that state, find someone like yourself as a lawyer who's going to look at it for me and tell me what's wrong. That's probably, some of the best advice you could get. But no, it's look, to be honest, if you're not doing the research and going to the market, like go to your local dispensary, grab, 5 flower brands if that's what you're trying to sell, or pre-rolls or carts or whatever, look at their packaging. If everything that's on your new packaging, whatever you're trying to bring to market, isn't already on there, you're doing too much.
That's great.
Just match what's already there.
Great. Amazing. Can each of you point, I'm going to now dabble a little bit more in the lawyerly area. Can each of you point to an important concept that both sides of a white labeling transaction or partnership need to consider before they enter into the white labeling relationship?
I'll tell you, where's the cash coming from? When's it going to get here? Who's supplying it? And how do you collect it?
To pay? You mean the cash to pay, or?
We'll say your manufacturing relationship also has a distribution component. Right. Understanding how the cash will flow through really the structure of licenses is super important. And a lot of people have a great idea, or maybe they have a great product, and then once they get to market, how are we going to handle the terms of that arrangement? So I think understanding the financial component is first and foremost so important.
I have to jump on that. Financial components literally it doesn't matter about anything else. Once you figure out the financial component, the rest of it is all daisies and flowers and everyone's happy. Because at the end of the day, everyone wants to get paid, but everyone deserves to get paid. You shouldn't get stiffed on a bill. You shouldn't, be running away. We're not the plug. You're not going to go run on us. That's not the way business should be done.
Right. And a functional partnership is where both sides win.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think that's the biggest thing. From that, and also, like you said, on terms, what are the terms really going to be? Do you need it at 30? Do you need it at 60? How is cash flow going to be the great component of this? And I think the one thing, it's be realistic with your timelines. Don't start trying to be like, hey, we want to do something in 3 weeks and then expect it to be done in 3 weeks. No, if you came to us at any point in time of the year, it was going to take 6 months. There's nothing we can do about that. It's just, there's processes and checks to make sure you get a high quality product. It's not about, if we can make it, we can do it in 3 weeks, no problem. But if you're not satisfied, you're not going to come back and buy from us, and that's not how we do business. We're customer service first. We are your solution partner. We're not going to sit there and put something down your throat that's not going to work for you. So we'd rather just help you and guide you through the process, knowing that, hey, 6 months down the road after it's all produced, all right, cool, we're ready for our next order next week. That's what you ideally want in a white label relationship. You want to build a true relationship with your manufacturer that can actually last over time. Because some people they try to get into this and oh, we want 128 terms. Well, the bank's not even giving anyone that. I'll give you 30.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's building a relationship to get to your goal, to get to where you'd like to be in that.
Right. So to bring it all home and tie it all together, can you identify very briefly, just a summary, quick snippet, how white labeling can really help ensure the longevity or future of a cannabis business's manufacturing operation?
Yeah, absolutely. We have invested capital in equipment and people, right? And we want to utilize those investments. So for us, by diversifying out of our brands and enabling other brands, right, we're flowing more units, more donuts, right, through the same cost structure that's already been established.
Right.
Utilization for us is everything.
Nice. Good.
I would have to say, on top of utilization, trying to think as kind of something I was going to say there for a second. God damn it. It's honestly, I just think it's just really working together really working. Right? Everyone's trying to just be honest, come to the table, talk about it, figure it out. I think that's what people are really looking for at the end of the day.
It's a nice way to mature what could be a pretty linear manufacturing center into a pretty dynamic hub.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, you call them donuts. Lawyers call them widgets. Same thing, right? I couldn't help it. And you're making fun of lawyer finding what's wrong. I got a red pen from a client for a gift once.
Oh my gosh.
Right, the red pen.
Once you smoke one of our donuts, you'll start calling them donuts.
Right. Exactly. So thank you to our panelists. Thank you for joining us on this Media Unshackled podcast live from MJ BizCon. Kirk, tell us where people can learn more about your company and more about you.
Yeah, please, growsciences.com. If you guys have a brand that you're looking to bring to the Arizona market, or say you have an established brand and you're just looking for a cost advantage solution with quality work and on-time delivery, Google us.
Bingo.
Growsciences.com.
Love it.
Yeah, and for me, go to horrorsupply.com. Any of your co-needs, we are your solutions partner. And same thing for merchandising. Go to horrorbrands.com. We got everything you need for your stores, from bombs, rolling pins, accessories, the whole shebang.
That's great. Awesome. Gentlemen, thank you very much. And thank you, Media Unshackled team, for organizing this great podcast. And stay tuned for more live episodes coming from MJ BizCon in Las Vegas.
Yeah, thanks, Mitch.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.